God, I notice little wins. People get stuck on having little wins. Yay. That'll get me through the day. I'm not a fan of the Little Win Club. I'm not a fan of the Me Too Club that goes, be strong, I'm pushing, you go girl. Not a fan of any of that. You know, you can imagine the emails that I get given what I do. And in this time of unrest, and in the time of the COVID-19 losing our freedoms, are there any success stories, Mr. 20, that you can share from while this has been going on? I share new success stories all the time. See, most people seem to think love is a hug and a slap is rude, and I'm going to say it's time for a slap. Stop eating Cheetos. You know, those little things made of corn and like 47 other things. Start eating cheese. If you want the flavor of cheese in your life, start eating cheese. If you want wins, don't settle for little wins. Don't even settle for big wins. Start soaring with daily wins. When we started up Dream Driven Day, my intention was to only run that twice, maybe 3 times a year, and then run some other programs. And then the loogie hit. And my gut said, run it, run it, run it. And we've been running it continuously pretty much up until right now. I've taken a little break. Next one starts September, October. If you want in, let me know. Yeah, we're taking seats right now, and it's going to book up. Because I notice time and time again, I keep saying this, but I'll say it again, dreads. People are waking up dreading their day, dreading the news, dreading what they're going to hear, dreading having gotten or not having gotten, getting the jab, wearing the mask. People are diving into distractions. They just don't have... See, in the old days, like 2 years ago, most people I talked to, they had Netflix or Prime or Apple TV or... Now it seems like most people I talk to have all of them. Stan. Like all of them. Endless distractions, guys. And then they watch the news. Stop eating Cheetos if you want cheese. If you really want real fellowship. See, here's the crass commercials. DreamDrivenDay.com. That's 30 people, 30 days. Private Facebook group, all that stuff. Group calls. I'm going to do some open group calls. It's time to do a couple of those. We haven't done those in a couple of years. But it's time. It's time for you to stop letting your life slip away. One day, one moment at a time. It's time to stop settling for... Mr. 20, I'm going to take it slow. You see, I hear that a lot. And from the same people I hear 3-6 months later, I want to speed things up. Well, why did you buy into slow to begin with? I buy into now. When is now a good time? Yeah, when is now is a good time? When is now a good time to do something different? When is now a good time to start having some attitude about life? You see, if you feel that you're smaller than the loogie, you get the loogie smaller than you. If you feel that you're smaller than the government, you get the government smaller than you. I know, one you got to look at with a microscope, the other one you can look at with a rifle, telescopic rifle sight. And there are people doing that right now. They're obsessed with this little micro tiny killing it, and they're obsessed with getting killed by the big G. I'm not talking Google. They're obsessed instead of living life. I even listened back to the podcast, the way I sounded 2 years ago versus the way I sound now. More and more attitude is showing up. Some people don't like it. And you know what? I'm sorry. But it's time. It's time for less kumbaya. And it's time for, you know what? This is what I'm doing today. It's time to start doing what works. And only what works. So I sit here in the disposable hot tub. I'll be going to the pool later today. See, I've discovered some things that work, and what works for me is stretching, movement. And I'm not just talking my body. In order for you to really stretch, not just be bent out of shape, but to stretch, to really smile, you have to experience a smile and your body follows. To really stretch like a dog, like a cat, you really do stretch. To stretch into a new state. You see, I love language, even though words don't have power, but people will tell me, but Mr. 20, isn't doubling your income a stretch for most people? And I say, yeah, it is. It's a stretch. See, what I notice is a strain is staying the same and expecting something different. I'm going to eat Cheetos and pretend I have the satisfaction of eating cheese. Eat the cheese. See, we get this really cool Blue Bay cheese. Look it up online, Blue Bay. And they make it from grass-fed butter, grass-fed milk from grass-fed cows, yada, yada, yada. And they naturally age it. And here's what sold me on it. It's like maybe 2 years ago. I'm at the market and I'm chatting with the guy. I chat with everyone. I love people. And when I tried the cheese, and I said, it's gritty, because that's called calcium. See, yeah, I know, moron. There's calcium in cheese, and we're having a good time, right? Talking like men. Not hiding behind properness. Not hiding from the news. Anyway, he says, no, you don't understand. I said, tell me. Because this is naturally aged cheese. We don't chemically age it. Chemically aging it is like simulating. I'm like, all right, go on. I know some people that say some weird things about simulations, like this life is nothing more than a simulation. That is not what Neville taught. And if you think I'm a simulation, have fun with that, buckwheat. I'm real. So are you. So is the girl that you want to fall in love with, or the guy. When you get how real you are, you're the dreamer that is dreaming up the dream of your life. And the dream of your life. By the way, see, Neville taught something interesting. Creation is finished. Let's call that the world. Then there's your world. Your world is a subset of it. It's not independent of it. You see, the world is the world. My world is what's in my proximity. You see, in the world, we've given life to something called money right now. We've given life to something called the loogie right now. Some of us have a lot of money, some of us have a lot of loogie. Some of us don't have much of either, and we settle for small, and we have got Netflix, right? Staying on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, all of them. I need endless distractions, Mr. 20, because once the news gets in my head, I need to be looking at something different. Good Lord. Yeah, it's a bit of a rant today. Because at some point you decide it's time to go deeper. I'm not going to keep dicking around. So here's what I notice about Neville. Neville discovered the truth about you that sets you free, and he continued to explore it and share his explorings for decades. You know what we do? We've discovered the truth about you, about me, about everyone that sets them free. My journey on this pretty much went full-time when I got PTSD at 23. Yep. That was a long time ago. But really getting that, what I had was nothing more than the imagination out of control. And what's stressing most people out is nothing more than the imagination out of control. I got it's time to live. Not to survive, but to live. So if you got some attitude today, if you're deciding it is time, Join us at ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. Let's start there. 90-day adventure, $97. It's like $1 a day. We've kept that price since day one. God, $1 a day. What's your endless distractions costing you? How about your endless dreads? Passively accepting. Trying to stay positive. You'll notice we don't teach that. We teach something far different. Something fun. ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, 15 to 25 minutes a day total is all it takes. It's more like 10, 15 minutes, but he was counting. Anyway. And for the shares, those who share the shows, those who share their lives with us, most MM members, they send us an update every 7 days. Why? Because we share with you ours and we want to know yours. What'd you do with the lessons? How'd they impact you? You'll notice we share a lot of those. A lot of people tell us. Well, not a lot, some. It's not a lot. A lot like to keep it private, like it's secret. It doesn't matter to me. But here's the thing. Sharing is caring. We share what we got. We invite you to share what you got with us and with the world if you want to. Because it is the truth about you that sets you free. And I've got a super secret agenda. Write this down. Mr. 2020's super secret agenda. More playtime, more playmates. You'll notice I've got a lot of playtime. You'll notice I want more playmates. I want less people at war with the loogie, with the government, with themselves, with their dreads, with their distractions. I want them to give life to their dreams. Alrighty. See ya.